YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today, guys, we'll be talking about punks and Bystials. And yes, this has been running through my mind for quite some time now. The punks with the Bystials. So to start off the deck, our monsters include 2 copies of Maxi. We just need 2 copies of Maxi. I prefer running 3 copies of Ash Blossom, the Call by the Grave, and the Crossroad Designator as one of our negate towards the Maxi. One of the downsides for this deck is having to special summon under a Maxi, so we don't want that. So there are 6 possibilities that you can negate a Maxi for that matter. 1 copy of Snow Rabbit, you can search this one out by the help of your Jam Dragon Drive. So that's Snow Rabbit. We have Ash Blossom 3 copies, 1 Sharakusai effect, 1 Wagon, 1 copy of Madame Spider, and 3 copies of Ziamin. 2 copies of Deer Note, 3 copies of Foxy Tune, and then 3 copies of Ogre Dance. And for your Bystial monsters, you have your very own Magnamut and 1 copy of Drew's Worm. You have 2 copies of Serenir. I do prefer just running 2 copies of Serenir just to send a copy of a Bystial monster to the graveyard, or basically the Bystial Rebellion to the graveyard to prompt out an effect. We'll use that one later on, but anywho, yeah, 1 copy of Baldric as well if ever your opponent spell summons Ritual Fusion, Synchro, Exe, or Link monster to the field. You can just sacrifice 1 light and dark, banish that monster. And then what else? What else? The Bystial Rebellion on 3 copies allows you to search your Bystial monsters. Very much needed for the deck. 1 copy of Jam Extreme Session to get. You can get a hold of this with your copy of what you call it, Wagon. 1 copy of the Branded Regain and 1 copy of the Branded Beast. And then we're also adding here Super Polymerization because this is one of the best board breakers there is. You can go or change this one with 3 copies of Evenly Match. The reason why I added Super Poly into this deck is because we have a lot of good targets for your Super Poly, which is Mudragon of the Swamp, your Garura, your Starving Venom, and then of course your Predaplant Dragosepelia. And of course, to top it all off, we have also a copy of Cordius, the Triphasic Dealman. So this is one of the cards that you can get from your Legacy Pack if ever you open a ton of Legacy Packs. It's a really good fusion monster that meets the criteria of 1 Synchro, 1 Exe, and 1 Link monster. Anywho, 2 copies of Emergency Teleport to spell summon one of your level 3 punk monsters, 2 Called by the Graves, Crossroad Designators, and 2 Infinite Impermanents. 1 copy of Narishiwari Surprise. You can go with the the Dangerous Gabu for a negate monster, but I do prefer the Nashiwari Surprise just to pop 1 card on the field. It's basically like Snow Rabbit in a sense, to pop 1 card on the field. If you don't have a face of punk on the field, it'll just pop 1 set card on your opponent's side of the field. Extra deck monsters, I told you a while ago. On top it all up, you have your Rising Carp. You can spell summon this by the help of your Sharakusai. Once Rising Carp is on the field, you can tribute this to spell summon either your Wagon if you don't have the field spell, or any other level 3. And you can summon a Deer Note to your side of the field, thus going into a level 8 Synchro Summon. For your Synchro monsters, you have a couple of level 8s, well 2 level 8s for that matter. 1 Chaotic Ruler, a really good level 8 to the field. It is also a dragon. You can sacrifice this for the Rebellion summon from your hand or from your graveyard. 1 copy of Jam Dragon Drive. Like I said earlier, you can search out any level 3 psychic monster. That includes the Snow Rabbit. Your 2 level 9s is the Mist Worm. It has a similar effect of the Amazing Dragon that bounces cards to the field, but it just targets up to 3 cards on your opponent's control. So that's really good. What else? You have also your Shenshen. I do prefer having also a copy of Shenshen on the field if you're going first. So whatever monster is removed from the field or whatever card is removed from the field, it is immediately banished instead. Anywho, that's Shenshen. 2 copies of Amazing Dragon. You can summon 1 during your turn for a combo. 1 copy of Psychic End Punisher. A really good OTK card. For Exe monsters, we only have one number 38 Hope Harbinger. Just negate 1 spell card and then attach that spell card to this monster. 1 copy of Heretic Seal as our only Link monster. Bounces 1 face-up card on the field, or monster set 1 face-up card on the field to the hand. Those are the deck profile, guys, and let's move towards the replays just to showcase this deck out. Alright guys, so here we are with the replays. We have 1 Maxi, 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Serenir, 1 the Bystial Rebellion, and 1 E-Telly. So one of the downside, like I said earlier, is Maxi for this deck. You don't want to spell summon a lot of monsters under a Maxi, and also evenly matched. But for some reason, I haven't encountered an evenly matched during my games here. But so far, let's start. We are going first with the Bystial Rebellion. I think our opponent is going to negate it with an Ash Blossom, so that's one thing there. We don't have a negate for Ash Blossom, but anyways, we have our variant Ash Blossom if he will Maxi, like what happened here. So my E-Telly into Maxi, he's Maxi into my Ash Blossom. So there we go, and then we're free to move with our combo. So we spell summon Xiamin here to start off our combo, and this is just for one card actually. So there we go, Xiamin, get a copy of Foxy Chun. Foxy Chun will dump a copy of itself and Saronir to the graveyard, spell summon the Sharakusai. The Saronir will dump a copy of Beast, the Regain, and then we'll retrieve that one later on with the Beast. But yeah, we fuse into Rising Carp. Rising Carp will tribute itself, get a copy of the Wagon and the Deer Knot to the field. Wagon will search out the field spell, use the field spell, and then go into the Jam Dragon Drive. So at this point on, we can search out another level 3 Psychic monster, and with the Deer Knot, it can spell summon one Punk monster from the graveyard. So that's it. There we go. We'll choose the Sharakusai here. This is what we'll use during our opponent's turn to bounce back cards. But there we go. So we draw one card from it. Normal summon our Madame Spider. Get a copy of the Nashiwari Surprise, and we draw into another card, which is the Drewsworm. Drewsworm will then be sacrificed for the Bystial Rebellion. Bystial Rebellion will use the effect to get a copy of Beast, and then we go into the Amazing Dragon. So Amazing Dragon here, the reason why I summon this is so we can spell summon back another copy of a level 8. Doesn't really matter though, but I prefer just doing this. But yeah, set one card, and then we have Regained, and also the Call by the Grave. I could have gone into the Chaos Ruler just to get out more cards or excavate more cards, but I prefer going into the Jam Dragon Drive just to get more draw power from the field spell. But anywho, that is it. We have our Maxi, our Call by the Grave, and our Nashiwari Surprise on the field. So that's really good. Our opponent is using Adamant Emancipators here. He's gonna go for Analyzer. Once he normal summon, he go for Regain, spell summon the Drewsworm back, so we'll use Drewsworm later on. He will use the effect, we'll pop the Analyzer to cut his capability into a Synchro Summon. But there we go, we'll search out our spell summon, a copy of Supplier to the field. Supplier will get a copy of Guardian. He will then use Guardian here. I'll use the effect of Beast, sacrifice my Drewsworm, and with Drewsworm, send to the graveyard, will send the Supplier to the grave. He would then use his Flourishing Hills, and then we'll use the Call by the Grave into the Flourishing. And that's basically it. And we still have the effect of Sharakusai to go. That's it. That's our really good board. Alright, so second game, guys. We have one Maxi, one Ogre Dance, one Super Poly, one Call by the Grave, and one Nashiwari Surprise. So our go-to plan here is going from Ogre Dance into Xiamin, hopefully. But we got Maxi, and our opponent is going first, so that's really good. So our opponent is gonna use Black Wings here, so really a bad matchup here if ever he goes into a full combo. But nevertheless, there we go. We use the Sudre and then use the effect of the Whirlwind to get a copy of one monster. I'll just basically dump the Maxi. I don't really want to let him go forward with more combos, so that's it. But he managed to get a copy of Vata here. And a copy of Twin Shadow from the Sudre. But there we go. So during our opponent's turn, he will use the during our turn he'll use the Maxi. We'll go for Call by the Grave. Lucky for us, we have Call by the Grave here. And then we'll use the effect of Ogre Dance to get a copy of our Xiamin. So Xiamin, normal summon to the field. Get a copy of Foxy Chun. Foxy Chun will dump itself and Nashiwari. I think I dropped Nashiwari. And go for the Sharakusai. So the only one key point here, the choke point for a Punk, is the Rising Carp Tribute. So he doesn't have any monster, then you go into Ash Blossom. That's one thing there that you can stop the Fission Summon, or the summon to the field. But there you go, Wagon and Deer Note. Wagon will search out the field, and we'll go into the basic combo for the Jam Dragon Drive. Use the effect of Jam Dragon. And then Deer Note will spell summon the other level 8. Now, the purpose for me for spell summon the level 8 is we can go for double attack for the effect of the Punk Rising Carp. I think here it states here you can attack twice during that specific turn. Yeah. And with that, we go for the Amazing Dragon here and then use the effect of Rising Carp. And there you go. So yeah, target my monster for twice attack, and then with the effect of Rising Carp, bounce back 4. So that's really good. So attack for 2,700, and I'll try to attack him the second time, but he'll use the effect of Baldrake here. So that stops one attack there. So he has 1,300, and we still have Super Poly left on our field. We can't do anything else about it, but we still have Snow Rabbit and Super Poly. So that's a really good card to actually go into. But anywho, still have the Simone here. We'll destroy that Whirlwind. We don't want him to draw into more cards or get a hold of more Blackwing cards. Go for Vata and use the effect of Black Feather Whirlwind. At this point on, we go for Super Poly and just sacrifice his monsters for our very own. I think I summoned Garura here, or was it Starving Venom? I forgot. I think I went for Garura because the defense was higher. But anywho, he's just set 2 cards, and I'm pretty sure one of this was the Twin Shadow. But nevertheless, it's perfectly fine. We spell summon. During our turn, we go into the Amazing Dragon, into Ziamin to the field, get a copy of our Deer Note, use the effect of the field to draw into 1 more card, and banish 1, spell summon our Deer Note, and go for Psychic and Punisher. Sacrifice 1. Now I'm just basically randomly using the effect. So he's gonna use the Twin Twister, that was a lucky choice, to be honest. But he'll use the effect of Twin Twister, spell summon the monster, and there we go. Use the effect of Silverwind, and with the field spell allows us to draw 1 more card because of the effect of the 1 psychic monster. I'll then use the effect of Whirlwind, and that's basically it. I think he is out of choices here, because we still have a lot of advantage. Alright guys, so last game we have 1 Ash Blossom, 1 Ziamin, 1 Saronir, 1 Super Poly, and 1 Extreme Session. So that's really good as our starting hand, and we're going first, so that's great. And if ever he'll use Maxi, we have Ash Blossom here. So use the effect of the field spell, get a cup, or normal summon Ziamin. Ziamin will use its effect. Get a Foxy Tune. The field spell allows us to draw 1 more card, getting a cup. Drawing the Magnum Boot. He'll chain with the Maxi. We'll go for the Ash Blossom. Good thing there were no negates, because sometimes Cypher Gear Gamma is prominent in this rank. So there we go. We go into the Sharkusai summon into a Rising Carp. Rising Carp will then be tributed. Now at this point, like I said earlier, if he has Ash Blossom, this will be very bad for us. But nevertheless, it's perfectly fine. We go for the Madame Spider into a Deer Note, and then get a copy of Nashiwari Surprise into a Synchro Summon into the Chaotic Dragon. So the purpose with this, since we drop a Saronir to the graveyard, we dump also a copy of the Bestial Rebellion to the graveyard from the Saronir. So we'll tribute the Chaos Ruler later on. And with that, Chaos Ruler will excavate 5, and the Deer Note will spell summon 1 level 3, which is the Sharkusai. So this is building up the board. So there we go. And we got a copy of Drewstorm here. That's really good. Then send to the grave the other cards. Sadly, our beast was in the graveyard, so we can't do anything about it, but at least we can go for regain. There we go. Banish monsters, spell summon the Chaos Ruler, and then we return back a Saronir to draw 1 more card. And then we go for Magnemite. So to search out on the end phase a copy of 1 Bystial monster. Spell summon our Ziamin, and we go into our Shen. So that's a really good card to actually be on the field. So Super Poly is set, our Nashiwari Surprise is set, and we have 2 interruptions from the graveyard to be on the field. So that's good. And we're going up against Endymion, so here is a really good deck to actually work on. So there we go. He's gonna go for Servant of Endymion. We're gonna pop that. We don't want him to get more counters. But he's gonna go for Astrograph Sorcerer, spell summon to the field. Now take note, there is 1 misplay that I did earlier, but yeah, I'll tell you in a bit. So with the regain, when he normal summon, they go for a spell summon into a Magnemite, but he will go for Call by the Grave. So it was sad, but nevertheless it was perfectly fine. But regain will just use the effect, recycle back our Magnemite, and draw 1 more card. So we got an ETLA out of it. We use the effect of Servant and a copy of Chicken Game. Now, this is the misplay that I did. So I prematurely used the Sharkusai effect into the Amazing Dragon just to bounce the cards. But at least there's the effect of Astrograph Sorcerer was bounce back to the hand. But I think the last card was actually a good thing for him. It gave him an advantage. But I wasn't really worried because we have Super Poly. So there you go. He's gonna Pendulum Summon into 2 Dark Monsters, which was really what we need. Go for Super Poly, dump a copy of... What did I dump here? The Ogre Dance, and we go for the same one, Garura. The Garura is my choice because once into the graveyard, we will get a hold of 1 draw, or we will draw 1 more card. But with the Shenzhen, I think this was a bad choice. But anyhow, there we go. Summon to the field. I will go for the Baldrake. Summon. He goes for a Link Summon. I can just use the effect of Baldrake. That's why he went into battle phase. But nevertheless, there we go. He will go for Electromite. Sadly, his monsters is on the banish zone because of the effect of Shenzhen. So, there we go. Popping 1 card, getting a copy of Endymion, and he can't do anything else. So that's basically our games, guys. Let's go back to the outro. Alright, so those were the replays, and that is the deck wrap-up for you guys today. Hope you enjoyed this kind of content. Like and subscribe for more contents like this in the near future. And that's me signing off. Bye-bye.